am I insane for taking a hard look at these long shots that scoring wise are on par with the guys that are the top two favorites for the Conn Smythe? What I know they want me to bet these other names, but I look at it, I'm like, there's a decent chance, especially in the clincher, if one of these guys goes off and they finish ahead of Bennett, ahead of Marchand in scoring. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong as far as narrative or where the voters are at, but I think these long shots have a chance on Florida if they wrap this thing up tonight and one of them has a big game.
Which one in particular do you like the most?
Well, if I'm going down that road, I would just put something on each of them because they are 500 to 1. So Tkachuk has 22 points and Bennett has 22. One's minus 160, one's 360 to 1. That's what I'm getting at. Marchand has 20 points and Barkov and Verhaeghe have 20 points. And the latter are 360 to 1 and 500 to 1. Like, what if one of them has a multi-goal performance in the game that wins it all? And then in the end, they end up with more points. Even though the narrative right now is Marchand and Bennett, could one of them win it? I think they could, or at least it's worth it at those numbers.
Yeah. See, we're coming at this from two different ways, and that's why our show is enjoyable, I think, for people on both sides, because you're talking about the longer shots on Florida, and I just went during the break and pulled up the best prices on McDavid and Draisaitl, because I had said I think it's a better idea if you like Edmonton and you can get the Oilers at 3 to 1 to win the series. You know, what about splitting that unit that you would bet on Edmonton on McDavid and Draisaitl? And the best price you could find on McDavid is 8 to 1. Best price you could find on Draisaitl is 9 to 1. So if you split that unit, instead of betting one unit at 3 to 1 on Edmonton, you could split the unit and go half on McDavid 8 to 1, half on Draisaitl at 9 to 1, and your math is better. That's the way it works out. Now, I can tell you that one book, which Kate Constable famously calls the Blue Book, they have Draisaitl and McDavid at plus 650. I don't know why you would bet those prices when you can find 8 to 1 and 9 to 1, respectively. So no matter what you bet, this is more proof and more evidence that you need to have a variety of options to get the best number to maximize your math. Why would you bet 650 when you could bet 9 to 1 on the same player? It's ridiculous. And I still to this day have friends. Well, I only need one book. Well, okay, you bet the 650 and somebody else will bet the 8 to 1 or the 9 to 1. And if Edmonton wins the Stanley Cup, you take your 650 and somebody else will take their 8 to 1 or 9 to 1. So it's all math at the end of the day, man.
I just don't understand why you wouldn't, like, we're telling you, one quick search and you'll see all the prices and where the best price is. If you're betting $100 on it, why wouldn't you want 250 more in your pocket? Just out of inconvenience, because I have to spread money around a little bit. I think it's worth it in the long haul, but not everybody agrees, and they just care about betting last minute, whatever they want. They're going to bet it, and it doesn't matter what the price is. And that's why books aren't incentivized to have the best price available, because, well, those are sharper bettors. The dumb people are just going to take whatever we put up, and we haven't lost our customers for the most part. So I understand why they're not going to make sure that they're best price in market, because people are going to continue to bet it.
I just real quickly, I know we're doing a lot of math live here, and I might lose some people, but the 7 to 1 and the 7 to 1 at a half unit is 3.5 and 3.5. The series price is 3 to 1. If you do the 8 and the 9, you're out to 17, and then you do that math down and you're at 4 1/4. So it's a similar bet in the sense that you like Edmonton. It's probably going to be one of those guys. So I don't think we see Edmonton win the Cup and a Panther win the Conn Smythe. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think that's going to be the way it shakes. Because as you mentioned, the most prolific scorers are all Oilers. And while Bennett has a bunch of goals, McDavid has more points. So I don't think it's going to be Edmonton hoist Lord Stanley and they give it to a Panther. But again, I could be wrong on that.
Yep. Totally with you there. Joe O. Sammy P. This is Bet Sweats on the BetMGM Network. Let's check out where the room is at for game number 6 in the Stanley Cup Final.
Where's the room?
All right, we've got a bunch of anytime goal scorer props posted. First goal, over under on points. Where there be a goal, when is it going to happen? All coming up here. Let's bring in our executive producer, Paul Aspin. What's up, Paul?
So hockey, a little bit different than the NBA ones because some of these are tougher to fade. I think the most interesting thing I'm seeing here is they're trying to thread the needle with Connor McDavid. The second most popular prop at BetMGM for tonight's game is McDavid to score an anytime goal at plus 140. And the fourth most popular prop is McDavid under 1.5 points at minus 130.
Not me. Not me with everything on the line. Yeah. Under, and they're laying a price? Okay. I don't know. I don't get that one. But not the most popular. That one was fourth. Is no goal in the first 10 minutes? Is this, I know it's a plus money price, a plus 135 here, and we've got a higher total game. So I guess that's the reason you're getting a better price. Is this something that's happens a lot in the playoffs? The no goal first 10 minutes, as far as being bet, not does it occur a lot, but do they bet it usually?
I feel like it's been on this list more than a couple of times.
Yeah.
Again, we haven't paid as much attention as we have to the NBA ones. But I feel like more often, a good amount of time when I've looked at the Stanley Cup playoff insights, I feel like there's a no goal in the first 10 minutes bet on there. And I guess especially in this game, the thinking is that elimination game, are they feeling each other out? Like, does Edmonton, again, they can fly up and down the ice. Do they play it a little closer to the vest because they're trying to be conservative and win a lower scoring game? I guess is the thinking there, or at least there's a feeling out process early on with everything on the line.
I do remember yes goal first 10 was popular early because it kept happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually game 4 or game 5, the room flipped and went no goal. And then there was a goal. So the room has been sort of in a pretzel on this 10-minute bet. And you had a lot. I mean, Marchand scored, I believe, 9 minutes into the last game. So you've had a lot of yeses hit, but conventional wisdom tells you, and any hockey handicapper would tell you, that in game 6 and game 7, usually things are a lot tighter. Teams take less risks. Teams aren't exactly trying to give up odd man rushes the other way. The ice is much more covered. Teams try and take away the middle. So it's generally, and I covered playoff hockey a lot in Chicago, as people know. Usually those later games, 6 and 7, were lower scoring games. Now that's not a blind blanket over game 6 and 7, but I don't think we're going to get a 5-3 hockey game tonight or a 6-4 hockey game. But every game, Joe, has gone over. Like full game, every game is over so far. 5-0.
Paul, what are they doing on Marchand?
They love him. Anytime goal is the most popular prop at BetMGM, plus 225, and the third most popular prop is for him to score the first goal at 16-1.
Number 1 and number 3. Mm-hmm. They're just leaving the good price. I would leave the good price. Let them keep coming in. All right, you want it? More plus 225. Okay, fine. Oh, 16-1 first goal of the game. Chances are he's not going to do it. Just keep that price there because they're going to bet every prop available on this dude.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable though, and
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating that the Bruins traded Marchand to Florida, a team that bounced Boston a couple of years ago, and now Marchand is the one, helping Florida get one game away from the Stanley Cup. It's wild theatrics considering where Marchand was a couple years ago. Remember, I believe that Bruins team was the number one seed in the Stanley Cup playoffs on the East side, and then they got knocked out by Florida. Yeah, that was the team that went 65, 12-5, and was one of the best regular season teams of all time, and then lost in the first round in Game 7, where they had a lead, remember, in Boston, and the Panthers win that 4-3, end up going to the Stanley Cup final, lose to the Knights, win it the next year, and now Florida trying to win another Stanley Cup with Brad Marchand, a player from that Bruins team that was so good in 2023. It's wild how this circle of life can work sometimes.